Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what was once familiar is now foreign. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. And I'm laughing because another bird went right over my head. So what was once familiar is now foreign. Let's think about this. Let's just zoom out for a minute. Let's say you were growing up and you grew up in a certain neighborhood environment and everything was familiar. And then you moved away and you went back to that environment, that town or city, and things are different. It's the same place, but buildings are different and roads are different and houses and all that. So what was once familiar is now foreign. That is why many times people say you can't go home again. I'm not going to touch on that in this video, but my point is now let's zoom into the narcissistic relationship. You were in this relationship for a period of time, and then let's say the relationship ended. Say you were discarded or you removed yourself from the relationship. All those memories and all the things that you went through, the experiences that you tolerated and or endured, and there were some good experiences, don't get me wrong, but those were all familiar for you. And now, as time has passed, let's say your relationship ended 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, months ago, a decade ago, that is all foreign to you. It's all different now because you now have the wisdom. You're getting the education on my channel. You are understanding that that relationship, it was familiar to you when you were in it because A, you were in it, and B, remember, most likely throughout the body of the relationship, you were existing in the narcissistic fog. You weren't living in the present moment. And the narcissist knew this. They knew everything that you possessed. Remember, all of your resources is what the narcissist really wanted. They wanted a companion, someone they could fake fall in love with, someone to pay their bills, someone to do the raising of the kids, someone to create the kids, someone to pump up their fragile ego, someone to be their sounding board, someone to tolerate the abuse, the manipulation, the lies, the devastation and destruction throughout the body of the relationship. That's what they wanted. And wherever they are on the planet, they're doing the same thing with another unsuspecting individual or individuals. The narcissist moves on so quickly from relationship to relationship at light speed. The reason why is because, again, remember, they get bored and jaded with individuals. They need newness, they need freshness, they need the flavor of the month. No person who is in a relationship with a narcissist is immune to the toxicity of the narcissist. It's just a matter of time of how much time you spend with them. That's why many times most people that experience the toxic behavior from the narcissist are the people that spend the most time with them, because the mask slips. The more time you spend with somebody, the more authentic and genuine they have to reveal themselves to be. And that's why the closest people to the narcissist usually experience the toxic behavior, and many times it's behind closed doors. Not always, but many times. But what was once familiar is now foreign. When you zoom out and you understand, wow, that relationship I was a part of, that almost took me down for the count. It really came close. But I'm here, I made it, and I'm now living the third version of myself, the best version of myself. I have healed childhood wounds. I have processed the relationship for what it was. I've practiced radical acceptance that, in fact, this person who perhaps I fell in love with, A, they never fell in love with me, but B, they can't love anybody. And whomever they're with right now, the new supply or supplies, those people, what they are is what you once were. You were nothing but an unsuspecting individual falling for the mask. Get the message. So now, when you zoom out and you look at the body of the relationship that you were a part of, everything seems so foreign to you. It's like, wow, what was that all about? Because you've exited the narcissistic fog and you're now identifying things, and you're placing the terms in the glossary and the definition of words about the narcissistic relationship with your real life experience. And it really is eye-opening once you exit the narcissistic fog, because what was so familiar to you in the past, there's no way you would do these things in the present day or the future. In other words, would you tolerate poor behavior now that you know what narcissism is? Of course you wouldn't. Do you now have boundaries that perhaps you did not have or adhere to in the past? I'm sure you do. Have you gotten the wisdom? Have you made it to the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you don't care about the narcissist or any people associated with them? You wish them the best of luck, but you just say to yourself, stay away from me. I now have my peace. I now have serenity. I now have calmness, abundance. Doors are opening up for me because I am now investing in myself. I'm not investing in the mask of the false narrative of the narcissist. That's another reason. So when you really understand what was familiar is now foreign to you, It's so true, because remember, I mention this so frequently on the channel, you can't unsee what you've seen. And then in the narcissistic relationship, you tolerated so much poor behavior. Think about when you were being gaslit. In other words, being told that your sense of reality is not even close to the truth. That's not what happened. Things like that. Or financially abused. In other words, you were with the narcissist and they were asking you to pay for vacations, holidays, barbecues, etc., school clothing, whatever it would be, supplies, groceries, car insurance, health insurance, whatever it was, mortgage. You were doing everything you could financially, and what were they doing? They were building themselves up behind the scenes. They were squirreling away money. What they were doing is using your money to catapult themselves past you and where you were onto another new unsuspecting individual. Remember, it's that lily pad frog example I shared with you last week. The narcissist jumps from lily pad to there's a bird. Look behind me. See, I told you guys, the birds are all around me these days, and there's squirrels right in front of me. It's like I'm in. It's real. Let's put it that way. So another thing is the narcissist wanted to use your money and use your resources, and they did not want to use theirs. That's financial abuse. Now, there are many levels of it, and when you were in the relationship, perhaps you were a person who could supply and or support them financially. That's great. And if you did it out of the kindness of your heart, God bless you. It's beautiful. But that was pushed, like everything was pushed in the relationship. Meaning the narcissist does not know how to lay off the gas. When they figure out something that makes you tick or something they can get you to do, they want to drain that dry. They want to take as much of that as they can. And finances are no exception. It's the same thing with your time and your empathy. Go back to the days when you would be working a 9-to-5 job, and you would be raising kids, and you would be teaching kids after school and spending quality time with them. Where was the narcissist? Probably out gallivanting the globe or on a mysterious trip doing whatever they're doing, claiming they're working late. Who knows what they're doing, but they weren't spending quality time with the kids. No, they would be anywhere but there, but that was your role, that was your job. In other words, you found out rather quickly that your job was to be a babysitter / parent when the narcissist didn't want to do either. But what were they doing while you were doing what you were doing? They were getting their action, and they're taking their place in action. In other words, they were growing their business and or doing things behind your back, meaning getting new supply, staying late, squirreling away money, etc., while you were doing the heavy lifting at home. Now, caveat there, if you were in a relationship like that, you most likely wanted to raise the kids and be a good dad or mom, be a good parent. That's what you were doing. But the thing is, you thought you were in a reciprocal relationship with another individual who was trying to do their part. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could have been further from the truth. The narcissist was trying to use you and better themselves and then go on to another unsuspecting individual. We know that now. But when things go from familiar to foreign, it's absolutely remarkable, because you look back in time and you say to yourself, wow, I used to do all of these things. I used to do A, B, and C. And now would I do any of those things? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't lift a finger to do any of those, because you see, I am now a different version of myself. I am now a galvanized version of myself. I was crumbled up like a sheet of paper, thrown away on the freeway, not given an opportunity to survive. Yes, I do mean that. And perhaps if that was you, or if it is you, drop comments below. Remember, you picked yourself up, you dusted yourself off by the bootstraps, and you rose up through the ashes like a phoenix. You put yourself back together when most people had given up on you, or most people were relishing your demise or the demise of the relationship that you were once a part of. And that includes fly monkeys, acquaintances, whomever. Many people didn't want you to succeed. They sincerely didn't. Many people don't want you to succeed. They sincerely don't. Many people are envious of you. Many people are jealous of you. Many people wish they were you. And that was the narcissist, believe me when I tell you. Remember, the narcissist doesn't just seek out and or do research on anybody. You have to be a special quality type of person. You have to have a high amount of many resources for the narcissist to put their mark on you, their target on you. And you know what they are by now, because you know what you possess. Your empathy, time, money, energy, effort, all these things. And again, the narcissist did take this for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. But when they threw you away and or discarded you, they did not think you would make it. They sincerely didn't. And because you have made it and or you are making it, you're making a huge difference on the planet. You now have boundaries in place. You are now not a people pleaser. You can now say the strongest word in the English language, which is what? That's right, it's no. And now you spend your time wiser and wisely. You are not a sounding board to people. You don't tolerate poor behavior. You don't have people fall asleep on a phone call when you're talking with them. Yes, that happened to me twice last year, 2 years ago. Two separate people actually fell asleep on a phone call with me, if you can believe that. Yes, and I figured out rather quickly who they were. Yes, that's right, a narcissist, you got it. Having said that, you won't, when it goes from familiar to foreign, it's not a bad thing, it's a great thing. What it means is you've now made the switch, made the change in your life. You now understand that you are the priority, that you come first, second, and third, that nobody on the planet any longer will steal your time or your resources. And if somebody wants to get to know you in a friendship capacity or romantic interest or part of a community or group that you are entering, they're gonna have to jump through hoops to get to you, because you don't just walk the planet with the rose-tinted glasses on anymore. You don't just believe that everybody is like you, because A, they're not like you, B, they never can be like you, and C, many people want to take what you have. Like I mentioned previously in the video, that's a fact. Another thing for people to wrap their head around, side note, is that many people believe that other individuals think the way they think. Nothing could be further from the truth. Many people don't think even 1/10 the way you think. They will give you the lip service and tell you that they agree with you and everything, but behind it, in the back of their brain, they're not agreeing with you, they're just appeasing you. Think about it, you jump into an elevator, if you say hi to somebody and then they start talking about how great the weather is, well, what are they doing there? Are they really caring about the weather? No, they're just trying to strike up a conversation, but what they're saying is something generic to test you, to see what you will do, to see what insight you will offer. That's just a small, tiny, little microcosm of an example. Now, I'm not saying don't talk to people about the weather. I was taught in university a long time ago that the #1 groundbreaking conversation piece, using an elevator as an example, but it could be anywhere, is usually the weather. When someone wants to strike up a conversation with somebody, usually they'll say, hey, great day. It's a great day out today, isn't it? Or, wow, weather's a little rough, huh? And then usually someone, because they're experiencing the same weather, they can associate and assimilate with you. Then usually they say their piece and boom, you have a conversation. That is a little nugget of wisdom for you. It's a fact. It's the #1 icebreaker on the planet, the weather. It's true. It's 100% real, because everyone experiences the weather, specifically when you're in the same location as another individual. So get that. But when things go from familiar to foreign, think about the relationships you had. Think about all the people, the lives you touched in a positive manner, and you thought that you were building them up and creating great friendships, and you were, I'm sure you were. But when these people listened to the smear campaign and took the side of the narcissist, or either they did that or they decided to not get involved because they were sitting on the sidelines, think of all the quality people you had to leave behind. Those people are called casualties of the relationship. And this includes kids, extended family members, neighbors, friends, co-workers, business associates, again, people in religious groups or communities or organizations you are and or were a part of. There are so many casualties of the relationship, and this is just a fact. It's the way it is. That's why many times some of the people that are closest to you, let's say family setting, like your son or daughter, aunt, uncle, mom and dad, whomever, brother, sister, these people need to be cut out if they are not benefiting you, no matter if you are a family member or not, because many times it's the people that are closest to you that cause the most damage to you, because they know what makes you tick and they can get to you. I'm not saying exclusively to narcissism. I'm saying exclusively family members many times try to tear you down or ask to borrow money, or that you're doing so much better you can help them out, etc. And they don't return your phone calls. They don't check in on you. They don't pay the money back. They just care about themselves. They're self-serving. So understand that. So the further you get away from the relationship, the less familiar that relationship becomes, because the dust has settled, you've exited the narcissistic fog, and now you're understanding that is a lifetime ago. It's a long time ago. And many of those behaviors that you've tolerated and or experienced, they're foreign to you. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you don't have yourself surrounded with toxicity any longer. You have healed, you have learned, you have grown, you understand that you are the priority and that there's no room in life for toxicity from anybody. And that was one of the life learning lessons you had to experience in the narcissistic relationship, that in fact, wow, did I want to go through this? No. Did I go through it? Yes. Did I make it? Absolutely. Am I a different person than I was when I entered that narcissistic relationship? 100%. Do I know what I want out of life now? Yes, you do. Do you know what you don't want out of life now? Absolutely. That's why these toxic behaviors become foreign to you, because you don't surround yourself with them anymore. You don't read nasty emails, nasty texts. You don't tolerate poor behavior in a restaurant or on an airplane. You don't listen to it. You just listen to the high vibrational abundance that surrounds you. The same high vibrational abundance that the narcissist took from you for a period of time. They don't have it any longer. Most likely the narcissist is A, with another narcissist, B, really not doing well, C, with another source of supply. God bless them. I hope that they're not with another unsuspecting individual, but if they are, that person probably isn't doing 1/10 of what you did. Again, it's not about comparing people or judging people. We're all human beings. We all deserve the best out of life. The difference is with the narcissist, they portrayed themselves to be one person when in fact they were someone completely different. If they held up that 2-page report and shared it with you and said, hey, read this is what I'm going to do to you, you would not have entered the relationship. You would have said, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. I'll be looking to strike up a relationship with somebody else. But that's not what they did. What they did is they faked love. They faked caring. They faked empathy. They faked everything until the weight of the mask became too cumbersome and you got discarded. That's most likely what happened. Understand this. It's a very powerful message. So when things go from familiar to foreign, it's actually a sign, a huge sign of healing. It's a sign of growth and abundance. It really is. Because when all you know is the toxicity of a narcissistic relationship and that's what's familiar to you, you don't know what's available on the other side. You don't know all the positive abundance that is just waiting for you. You don't know the doors that are waiting to open for you. You don't know the relationships that are waiting to be developed and grown with you. But this is happening now. It's real life. It's real time. So understand the message. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. Remember, when it goes from familiar to foreign, that's a good thing. This video illustrates when you were familiar. In other words, all you knew was the toxicity of the narcissistic relationship, the weight of the relationship, gaslighting, stonewalling, the smear campaign, the silent treatment, being isolated, being everything. And that's what you know. When you understand and you heal and you process things and you take time, in your time you will heal if you do the proper steps. And those things become foreign to you. That is a huge sign of growth. You can't pay for it. It's something you'll have to go through on your own with the help of a qualified therapist, journaling, watching videos, reading, meditating, healing childhood wounds, etc. But when you get to the other side and things are foreign to you, you remember the past. You won't tolerate it in the present or the future, but you're living in the present moment. That is where all the abundance happens. That's where the beauty opens up, and that's where the possibilities are endless. Really get the message. So guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you. Have a great afternoon, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye, guys. And there are so many, there are a lot of animals around here, so that's a good sign. I love you guys. Bye.